I'm okay.
When I was watching the movie, one thing that really stuck out that I thought was hilarious was there was that whole controversy in the first movie about the high heels, and there was just like a full-on shot for like 10 seconds of just your boots. And it was here you go, feminazis. She's wearing boots this time. It was like,
well, yes, for sure. And then in the third movie, you will not see my feet once. I swear. You won't at all.
I would be surprised if there's like a whole blog just devoted to your feet now. But yeah, but was that like a rider in your contract? Like no more?
No. And can you imagine? I voluntarily wore heels today. What am I thinking? I should only wear flats from now on.
The movie is a huge success. Like, how do you feel having a movie that played this well worldwide, hit all the quadrants, all that stuff?
How do I feel? I feel relieved. You know, you feel so much responsibility when you do one of these big movies, and it's not only the fact that the movie did so well in the box office, but the fact that people really liked it. I mean, it's a big relief.
Yeah, and one of the things I liked the most about it was the whole third act is pretty much like a Gothic horror movie. Like, so I remember somebody described it as House on Haunted Hill meets Jurassic Park. Can you talk a little bit about your Gothic horror influences?
Yeah, I think we all embrace this idea that Colin had of making the second half like a haunted house story, because we all remember the fun of watching a Jurassic movie. And we all remember, especially the second half of Jurassic Park, how the story turns into a more suspenseful and claustrophobic tale of dinosaurs. So I love the idea from the very first moment, and absolutely everyone involved in the movie loved the idea too.
I think, you know what, it's definitely the best thing ever is getting to see kids have a reaction, or, when like, I don't know, like a kid will recognize me on a plane or something like that, and you get the double take, and it's like, oh man, I get to be somehow play a little role in their childhood, because I remember watching Jurassic Park opening weekend when I was 12 years old, and it was like, I will never forget any part of that movie from that viewing. I've watched it many times since, but it's like it's just permanently imprinted on my mind. And so, these movies are meant to be ultimately, I mean, they're terrifying, but they're meant to also be for families and kind of take you on a ride and have this fun cinema experience. And so in particular, when I meet kids who have seen these movies and liked it, that's by far the most rewarding thing.
Obviously, Colin is taking over again for the third one. Do you think he had an overarching sense of how he wanted the trilogy to be and where this one fit in and where it might go?
Well, Colin is the architect of the trilogy, and I was aware all the time that I was giving my best in order to tell his story, and I was using my skills in order to make his story the most effective possible, and I think it's very interesting what he's doing. I think right now the expectations are really high. I really want to know. I don't know much about the third movie, and I really want to see it. I think it's very interesting the way the story finishes and all the possibilities that are open for the third movie.
She saw in the first movie that the consequences of her corporate decisions were catastrophic. I mean, loss of life and these dinosaurs getting out there and the park being shut down, and then in this movie she's become someone who's back in touch with her values, and she's actually taking a stand. Like, she's become an activist, and she's on a mission. And so as far as where that goes for the third movie, I mean, I don't know specifically how. I mean, I kind of know. I sort of know, but I can't say exactly sort of where that's going to take her. But I think that she's basically become herself again. Now it's like, let's see that person in a zillion different survival situations, you know, and how they handle it. And so I think that's probably what you're going to be seeing in the next movie.
Welcome to Jurassic World.